What's going on, fellow humans and resellers? This is I, James, readoptionagency.com. 21 years selling on eBay. Welcome to Monday morning. All right. This Stamps.com's still not working properly. It's like got the orders from the last 3 days loaded. I was like, really? I'm going to have to probably unhook my store and try it again, see if it'll sync up properly. It was like pulling double over. I saw where a lot of people are having issues where the items in their store are being copied. So I wonder if it pulling over doubled had something to do with that weirdness going on. Not sure. Anyway. All right. Well, where did we end up yesterday? I got a nice array of things to ship out today. Even a nice high dollar item that somebody wanted more than I wanted. So, and then I think we're going to talk about eBay and what it's probably doing to a lot of smaller sellers and how that can benefit you if you can survive it. So, yesterday, complete and utter mess all day. I am now back down to 6% down overall. Pretty ugly. Ever since last Tuesday. So tomorrow it'll be a week that eBay's just been totally lower than I've ever seen it before, with the exception of Saturday. Odd. I mean, I'm down here, and then I have whoop, and then I jump back down here. So Saturday I did $942. So Friday I did $575, $942 Saturday. And that was without like big dollar items. It was volume. I sold 79 items that day. So that's where I like to be. That's where, when eBay's working, I am usually. Yesterday, $482. So didn't even make it to 500 again. That's the second day in the past 6 that I have not even made it to $500. And that's pretty pathetic. No matter how you look at it. So let's see how many items. Let's see what the split was. So 46 items at a 50-50 split, 23 and 23. So that tells you something wasn't right, because it's usually a 70-30 split. Saturday was a 60-40 split. So 46 items. Today, I'm on a 50-50 split so far. Sold 12 items, 6 and 6. We are at $930, and I'm at $170. So I like to be 150 to 250. I'm at least within that bracket, but as we know, it usually changes midday. So who knows what the day will end until the day ends. So nothing is for sure anymore. So if you didn't watch my videos yesterday, I went over the article about their whole server switch out and what they're doing there. So a lot of you guys had different opinions and thoughts on it. So if you do watch that video, or if you haven't, I'd suggest go back and read in the comments. I got an email from a viewer saying also that servers are supposed to be changed out every 5 years. So if they started in 2018 and were half done, some of those servers could be going bad now. So that's just another way of looking at it. Maybe some of the eBay servers aren't up to snuff quality, and they're already, 5 years later causing issues. So who knows? Who knows what the real answer is? All we can do is speculate and wait. So, and we'll get into the proper way of waiting, or ideas or something, to try to get through this mess and hope that it's not the permanent way that eBay is going to be from here on out. So, thanks to all the new subs. Got a lot of new subs in the last 30 days, almost 800. So thank you all. And of course, all the OGs and everyone in between. I appreciate all of you. So much love, much love. So, all right, let's go ahead and get to shipping, and then we're gonna, yeah. So stamps, again, pulled double of the items over. So it would probably work, but until I get it fixed 100%, I'm just gonna go back to pirate ship. So we got a payment there, so that's good. All right. So like I said, I got a bunch of different array of stuff, starting with another photograph. This was a cool one. I figured this would probably sell pretty good, pretty quick. And it's a farming picture with a man on a tractor, but there's a little surprise in the picture, which makes it kind of cool. If you can't see or it's glaring or something, look underneath the tractor. So I'm guessing that's his son under the tractor, photobombing the vintage picture. So that's cool. I should have put photobombing into the title. It probably would have moved a lot quicker. But anyway, this is headed to Lodi, Wisconsin, and sold for $7. All right, let me find a case to stick it in. All right. And we got another. All right. CD without the media. So with all these issues going on with eBay, it's probably safe to say that a lot of people are not going to make it through the summer. A lot of sellers, a lot of new sellers are not going to make it through the summer because they're just not selling anything. So I think a lot of people are just going to give up. You mix that with the popularity of Whatnot coming on, and of course Poshmark for like women's clothing and stuff, the popularity there for that. I honestly think this is going to be the thinning summer. COVID may have been, the year where an abundance of resellers started coming into the market, but I think this year is going to be the year where a lot of them are exiting the market. Just because it's not sustainable for them, because they just got started or they were just moving household stuff, and now they're going back to work, or they wanted to try to make the transition and now it's failing because eBay's not working properly. I feel very fortunate to be in the position I am in, where I can at least still pay everything when I make it over 500. I've had 2 days out of 6 that I haven't made it over 500. So that has set me back a little, but not as drastic as most of you are feeling. So no complaining there, just more concerning and trying to figure it out in hopes to help everybody, So next up, we've got this wooden carved letter opener. I picked up this at that Hoarder Garage sale, where I got everything for like $60. So this is headed to Port Charlotte, Florida, and sold for $15. And if you're new to my videos, the prices I give do not include the shipping I charge unless I tell you there's free shipping, which is usually only on my $5.99 CDs and cassettes. So what can I put this in? How do I want to do it? I could probably put it in an LP mailer. That'll keep it nice and sturdy. Let me wrap it up though first. Actual bubble wrap laying around. That usually don't happen. Keep it nice and sturdy. I could probably put it in a 12x6 box, might be a little bit better. Then it won't be squishy. But I'm going to have to go grab that. Maybe it'll fit, maybe it won't. We shall find out. We got it. Maybe a little safer than there. Okay. 12x6x6, 8.1. So, as a reseller, and if you're doing this full-time or even part-time trying to make the transition over, what are some things that you could do this summer to get you through the summer? I think the first step is obvious. If you have a death pile, you're probably sitting a lot better than a lot of people. So concentrate on getting that death pile listed into the store. The money's already spent. The product is sitting there. Get that death pile listed. Next up, we've got, are you ready for a hat lot? Yeah, 2 San Francisco hats. Headed to Fresno, California, sold for $21. So, get that death pile listed. I actually probably need another 12x6x6 box. And that will bring me to my next point, or my next suggestion. Hatbox USA. Hatbox USA. I got a Hatbox USA. Let me go grab another 12x6 box, and then I will tell you the next suggestion. All right, So the next suggestion is, do you have anything that you personally collect? Because here's the dilly of it, yo. Starting an eBay business, starting any business, is not for the faint of heart. When I started, I sacrificed my CD collection, my music collection, my video game collection. I had well over 10,000 CDs, a lot of rare items, hard rock, glam rock, 80s, early 90s metal, a lot of rare stuff. Vinyl, huge vinyl collection, probably 3,000 to 4,000 pieces sacrificed. Video game room, all my video games I sacrificed. I still got most of my original systems, Neo Geo, TurboGrafx, Sega Masters, Sega CD, 3DX, Super Nintendo, Nintendo 64. I still got all my systems. I kept those, but I sacrificed everything else in the game room, including the video games and the memorabilia and stuff like that. Look at it this way. If you're starting a business and you want to do this seriously, you have to make sacrifices. You can always build back later if you want. When you get successful, you can always rebuild at a later point, but you have to sacrifice something or it's not going to be easy. And one thing that I'm doing right now, and this is kind of an showing, let me find it on here. There we go. So I have a collection of stuff, blues stuff, Motley Crue items, even some video game stuff that I started building back and collecting and what have you. This being one of the items that I just acquired recently. And I put a store category called personal items in my store. And I put the price higher than normal. Like, this would be the price I would let this go at, right? If somebody wants it more than me, they can buy it at this price and they get it. You know, it's basically sacrificing to maintain. But I mean, right now, I don't care about collecting anything right now. It's more of a fun thing. Oh, what can I find at the bins today or a yard sale today? Oh, let's set that up on my shelf for a little bit. The way I look at collecting stuff these days is everything has a price. So you got to look at your collection of whatever as there's a price to be put on it. So whether you go ahead and sacrifice it, or if you just list it in your store, if it's something collectible, it can at least draw more traffic into your store. People clicking on it, and then maybe they click into your store. So somebody ended up buying my Brett Hall bobblehead and paid $56 for it. So headed to Paducah, Kentucky. So just a suggestion there. Let me find some bags to put around this. We'll just use some air bubbles. But yeah, if you want to survive, you have to sacrifice during difficult times. And if the website's not working, that's difficult times. Not ideal, because it's nothing that we're doing necessarily. So sacrifice personal collecting. One thing that is more important than having collectibles sitting on your shelf is having a peaceful frame of mind. I'd rather sit in a peaceful house, a peaceful empty house with nothing and not have to worry about anything than to be stressed in a house full of stuff. So, but I think that's kind of easy for me to say because I came from nothing. So I've been there. So I have no problems getting rid of things and moving on. And recollecting later at date if I choose to. Plus, the whole fun is in the finding too, right? So if you can sustain yourself by getting rid of your collectibles and it's keeping you going and bringing you money in so you can even maybe go source again, the fun's in the hunt. That's where the most fun is. So if it allows you to at least have fun again, who knows what you'll find at that yard sale or that thrift store that, you know, might be a piece 10 times worth 10 times what you had sitting in that collection. So, and that will only help your business, obviously. So, sacrifice. Next up, we've got the Who Best of CD. Sold for $5.60. Headed to Redding, California. My third suggestion would be use the time to acquire as much knowledge as you possibly can. If you don't have, well, even if you do, but if you don't have the death pile list, that would be first priority. Start researching. Get on eBay sold and just page through pages of stuff. Type in random things that you may be able to find it at yard sales that you don't know enough about. Whether that's glassware, pots and pans, stuffed animals, toys, newer toys, Hello Kitty, Paw Rescue, or whatever it's Paw Patrol. You know, see if there's any collectible stuff in those areas and the stuff that you would probably find at the flea markets. Baby stuff. There's always baby stuff at yard sales because everybody grows out of their baby stuff. See if there's something out there that you just don't know about that you might be able to find a niche in this summer as per yard sales that could elevate your store. So the third suggestion would be research and learning, knowledge. Next up, we've got a Tony Bennett 45. Headed to Edgewater, Maryland, sold for $7. But you need to be doing that even if you do have a death pile. You know, maybe an hour before you go to bed, instead of watching TV, you scroll solds on eBay. Because you're going to get more knowledge doing that in the hour than you are sitting in front of a TV, right? And then again, we come back to sacrificing. So you're sacrificing your TV time, if you will. But if you have a DVR, there's always your day off. You can sit back and power watch some shows. And obviously YouTube videos. You can watch them and gain knowledge of what to sell. You might see one of us who do these simple videos, see something and go, oh, I didn't know sports bobbleheads were a thing. I didn't know there was money to be made there. Go to eBay, type in sports bobblehead, go to sold, and see what comes up. You will find a lot of sports memorabilia, or not really memorabilia, but sports-related items in yard sales. So, Burton Cummings self-titled cassette. Headed to Rancho Cordova, California. Sold for $6. Probably free shipping on that. Another suggestion, I don't like to say it because I know the stress that it can put on a person. And I wouldn't suggest it unless it was necessary 100%. And that would be if you feel your knowledge is strong, if you feel you have a a good low dollar place to source, whether that's yard sales or a bin store. Invest in yourself during the hard times. Whether that means sacrificing your collection, running up a little on a credit card. I wouldn't recommend that, but if you have to survive. I had a couple of days where I'm down, where that's going to rack up a little bit on my credit card. Probably only a couple $100, but still, I'm not going to stress about it because I know things will turn around, or I'll have that $1,000 day again, right? So depending on your situation, where you are, and how strong you feel about your situation, invest in yourself. And I would suggest selling collections before I would step on like using any type of credit card or anything like that, because that's just a downward spiral. And I've been there, like I've said, $150,000 deep there, and was thankfully able to pull myself out of it. But I had faith that I was eventually going to be able to. It put a lot of stress on Jan, but I had the faith that it would come back around once all the sourcing I was able to do at the time dried up. That was buying out stores, buying out collections. When the bins opened, going almost daily for about a year or two, filling up the truck almost daily with high dollar, not quick flips, but high dollar items. So I invested in the fact that the whole theory of you make your money when you buy. So I invested in that theory and in the opportunities that were laying in front of me. Like I said, I wouldn't recommend it, but I'm glad I did it. Traveler soundtrack sold for $6, probably free shipping, headed to Russellville, Alabama. Because now here I am in 2023, have unlimited merchandise to sell. I don't have to buy anything. So if I end up having all these bad days in a row, I don't have to spend money on merchandise. I can get through it stress-free because I took that risk and invested in myself. Now, I would suggest if you end up doing something like that, do it wisely. You make your money when you buy, first and foremost. So don't just be randomly doing it. Make sure there's a lot of thought put into the process of, if you're going to invest $1,000 of debt to build up your death pile, that you get the most value you can out of that $1,000. And I would say the place I like to be, and the whole model that I went after when buying out stores and collections and stuff, is the minimum 10 times your money. So if you spend $1,000, and if you can't turn that into over $10,000 worth of merchandise, then it probably wasn't worth it putting yourself back like that. But if you got that $1,000 and you turn it into, before eBay fees, $13,000, then you probably made a good investment. And then that depends on, too, where did the money come from? Was it a savings account? Was it a credit card with 21% interest rate? If that was the case, then it wasn't worth it. Were you able to put it in your garage in a free spot as opposed to getting a storage locker? So you have to make smart decisions if you do go that route. But like I said, I do not suggest going that route unless you have all the boxes checked. Next up, we've got Rocksteady from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Headed to Benton, Arkansas, sold for $9. Let me find a bag. Put it there for him. Also, cut back. Cut back is huge. How much money do you spend on food that you don't need to be spending money on? See, here's one of the areas where I can survive. I can survive off 2 cans of SpaghettiOs and meatballs a day. So basically $2 and what, probably $1.20 by now. So I could survive off of, $2.40 a day eating and be perfectly fine. SpaghettiO meatballs has enough of the good stuff in it mixed with, it's got enough of the balanced stuff to survive on. Let's just put it that way. It's not the healthiest, but it's got enough of the good stuff to survive on. So, sacrifice food, drinks. You don't need to be buying drinks if you can just drink water for free out of your faucet, So, like I said, it's about sacrifice. If you're in a tough situation, you have to sacrifice. And I know for some people that's harder than most because, hold on, I'm talking, and there we go. Because maybe you never had to be there before, If you haven't had to be there before, that's probably the hardest thing to do. Because you feel like you're failing or whatever, or you're going backwards in life, or whatever the case may be. But remember the old adage, 1 step forward, 2 steps, or take 1 step back to gain forward momentum, to take 2. I don't remember the exact saying. I wanted to say 1 step forward, 2 steps back, but the opposite of that, where you got to step back before you can take a leap forward. I don't remember the exact saying for that, but you get what I'm saying. Sometimes you have to either stop or slow down or take a step back in order to take that big leap moving forward. So sacrificing pointless stuff that you're buying. Next up, I just put this up yesterday. Johnny Horton Greatest Hits vinyl. Headed to Marysville, Washington. Sold for $4.20. Vinyl, PUS 12.8. Third suggestion, even in times like this, there are a lot of people giving stuff away. Craigslist free, dumpster diving. Change your game up a little bit. Go into the city if you're near a city. Drive through alleys. Look in dumpsters. Go behind stores. Check the dumpsters. See what you can find. Don't feel ashamed, because that's just free money people are throwing away. I mean, you got to remember, America is probably the biggest waste of stuff, period, in the whole entire world. So why not capitalize off of that? And they're just throwing money away to be had. I've always thought, if I could sit, at a dump and go through every truck that came in, do you know how much money you'd probably have at the end of the day if you could physically do that? A lot of people throw a lot of money away. So change your game up. Go for free stuff. Find different creative ways to get the free stuff. Put ads out there on Facebook, free ads. Have your leftover yard sale stuff you don't want, I can come and take it off your hands for free. Then you can sell what you can sell out of that. The rest donate to a thrift store that you can get 10% off of, or a coupon to get, money off of your purchases there. So change the way you're thinking. TDK sampler CD sold for $7 and headed to Boise, Idaho. I'm trying to think of ways that I used to do things. Consignment. If you have to, find friends or family who's got stuff they want to get rid of and make a deal with them that you'll sell it for them. and split the profits. Now, when I did consignment toward the end, and I would suggest the only way to do it is 50-50 split of, you can do it one of two ways. 50-50, depending on how bad the people want to get rid of the stuff. You can do 50-50 split of the profits, or you can do 50-50 split, period. I did 50-50 split, period, of everything. That meant the seller got 50%. eBay would get about 15 to 20%. You would get 30 to 35%. So consignment's a nice way if you have the room to make some extra money. I would say put that on the bottom of your list. Also, just because you're not getting full value. And if you do it, maybe you put a limit on the type of stuff you take in. Nothing I can't sell for $25, $30 plus, because there's no point in you messing with it if you can't, gain $10 out of it, if you will. So anything $30 and over that you want to get rid of, I can help you. That's at least $10 in your pocket without tying up anything other than time of the list and time to ship. Hidden Figure DVD, headed to Nashville, Ohio, sold for $6, probably free shipping. DVD media. The one good thing about the country we live in and the way that people live is there's a million ways to make $1. And I got a feeling we're going into summer, that seeing I had two days where I haven't even hit $500, that might be more common throughout the whole summer if the website doesn't change. The sales slow down in the summer. Obviously, it depends on the economy too. I don't think we're in a recession as of yet, because I still have $1,000 days, right? I wouldn't be having $1,000 days when the site feels like it's working properly, when I get no errors. If we were in a recession, I don't feel, sure, people are cutting back on stuff. They have to, yes. But people always still like that low dollar gift, feeling of, they may not be going out. Some of them may not be going out and buying a $100 purse, but they'll buy the $20 purse on eBay, right? So have that $20 purse waiting for them. So that's the way you got to I look at the economy when people say we're in a recession. Like, I don't remember feeling the 2008 recession time with the business. And I'd have to go back through my paperwork to know for sure, but I don't remember it being a hard time. Electric Light Orchestra cassette, headed to Mesa, Arizona, sold for $420. Why are all these out like that? Dude, come on. Take care of this stuff. that email. Yeah, if you're not, you know, if you're not like having to sacrifice anything, feel lucky. I mean, as bad as it's being lately, feel very lucky if you're not having to sacrifice anything. I can definitely say that, and that's the way I'm trying to look at it. You know, oh, we got a Jeff Gordon hat headed to Australia. Kangaroo flat Victoria, I guess Victoria, Australia. So for $10. You know, I do things like putting out on Facebook, like if you're spring cleaning and you got stuff that you're going to donate to a Goodwill or something, donate it to me. You know, I accept donations for, you know, anything you would drop off at a, you know, maybe accept large furniture or whatever, unless you like selling that stuff too. And then what I do is I will give 10% to a charity of anything that people donate to me. So I'll still be giving back to a charity, but I'll also be making money also. Oh, it's international. And we are at $10. That's all I can really think of at the moment. We've got this George brand blank brown hat. So for $6, headed to Massachusetts. Swampscott, Massachusetts. I think those are the biggest things I can think of right off the top of my head. You know, I don't plan anything. Just whatever I think of, I talk about. So my videos would probably be a lot better if I put time and thought into them. Boo 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 boo. We got Buffalo Springfield CD. Headed to Spring Valley, California. Sold for $5.40. I'm trying to think, like, trying to think, there's like any businesses going out of business here soon. I know Weekends Only just went out of business, but that's all like bigger stuff. And they don't even have fixtures you could buy and sell in that place. And most of the stores that are closing are probably they're closing just in certain areas now, and they would move their stuff to other stores. So. All right, another CD from my Hastings buyout. Headed to East Bend, North Carolina, sold for $540. And that is one of the things, like, I guess the thing I want to talk, maybe I'll go into now, is just the I don't know, when you invest in yourself, like I did, I mean, it was not an easy road. I mean, you got a guy who knew nothing about business when starting the business, right? Who's barely got a high school education. And yet here I am, $150,000 in debt, spending, spending $5,000 without even caring, spending $28,000 without caring on shoes. I mean, when I was buying out those shoes, I was already $150 in debt. And the shoe deal came up, and you, like I've always said, you made your money when you buy. Even though I had $150,000 in debt, I had a couple more credit cards. I'm like, let's do this. And I would just boom, thousands, 5, 10, 15. 1 month, my biggest month of buying shoes was $28,000. But what I did was made sure I flipped those shoes quick on eBay. Even if I had to break even on a few of them, I moved them quick, so when that 1 month came, I could pay that bill off entirely. So I made enough profit and room on those shoes. I think my average cost was about, I want to say, I totally forget. It was either $13 or $17 per shoe. And I got either $70 or $75 was my average sold price. So I made sure they weren't something I would sit on, that once that bill came in, those 2 new credit cards would be totally gone. And then I could go back to the store and get more. Got a Harry Potter CD, headed to Puerto Rico, sold for $420. But the amount of stress in this household of me spending $28,000 when I've already got $150,000 in debt from somebody who's hopes he knows what he's doing, it was not easy at all. A lot of stress, a lot of arguing. Why do you make me do this to Puerto Rico on pirate ship? But then it don't print out as such, I don't think. Oops, what am I doing? Go back out. Two five. But So, and that's why another reason why I don't care what people think of having 5 storage areas filled with merchandise. Like somebody the other day, yesterday I think, go back to your hoarding basement, right? Was their comment. And that don't bother me because I know I've got 10 plus years of income and I don't have to spend any money doing it, right? That for me wasn't the goal really, but it just happened to play out that way because I couldn't move the stuff fast enough. And the fact that I can sit here and breathe easily, right? And not be stressed and know that I've got income for 10 plus years, of 80 grand a year in my pocket. 80 plus, and that's not counting the bills the business pays, right? So like the cell phones and the car or whatever. So for somebody who came from nothing, who spent so many stressful years in debt, betting on myself and betting on you make money when you buy, to be sitting here in 2023, you can call me any name you ever want to call me. I don't care. Guess what? I get to work for myself for 10 plus years and not spend any money if I don't want to. And still have $86,000 in my pocket. So I don't care. Call me whatever you want to call me. But in my eyes, I made it, I can sleep at night without having to worry about anything. That to me is making it. We got a pattern that Jan picked up at the bins. Headed to Paw Paw, Michigan. Sold for $540. Paw Paw, Michigan. Yeah, that's like, if I can go to sleep at night and not stress or worry about anything, call me any name you want, because chances are I'm sleeping better than you are. Because if you have to attack people, you're obviously in a miserable spot in life. So, all right, next up we've got Sherlock Holmes, Case of Sherlock Holmes 2, PC video game. See if I can get these fingerprints off. Yeah, I just use spit to get fingerprints off. So, with my little fiber thing. And this is going to a viewer, it looks like. So thank you. You got a little bit of my DNA there with it? No, I cleaned it off. Hi, I really enjoy watching your YouTube channel. I wish you all the best of luck on your eBay business. You have great products for sale. Thank you for the offer price as well. Have a great day. Mike. Thank you, Mike. So this is headed to Rochester, New York. Thankfully, some of these are finally selling. Finally. Makes me feel good. All right, we go there. We go non-media. Whoops, I hit the wrong one again. It's US, James. US. Okay, non-media. I think one thing about when I was putting myself in the hole so bad is one of my fears was, what if sourcing dries up, right? That was kind of my mindset at the time when I was buying so much stuff. What if there's a time where you can't source anymore because you can't find the items? But yet it's kind of done the opposite. The items are out there. It's just, if eBay is so screwed up that you're only basically making the minimum, if you will, that you don't want to spend, because if you spend, it'll put you backwards, and not having to spend. So it's kind of like, it was like a total different reason, but same premise. I can't source. I shouldn't source, I should say. And don't have to. So next up, we've got, are you ready for a t-shirt lot? So if you watched my yard sailing video a couple weeks ago, you saw the band t-shirts I picked up. They're not concert t-shirts, they're band t-shirts. So we've got Green Day, Dookie. And we got the Rage Against the Machine. So both of them together so far $26, headed to Bedford, Pennsylvania. T-shirt, poly bag. 13.1. Where are we at? 57 minutes. Almost perfect timing. Get out of my way. Thank you. What's up, baby girl? I'll be done in a minute. We can go outside. And I've got AC/DC 74 jailbreak tape only. Looks like I forgot one, pull one. Sold for $6. Headed to Eden, North Carolina. My baby girl. She's so low-key now. Vern was always the one that stirred everything up. He would get the whole neighborhood barking. So now when we go outside, it's just quiet. Today, and then we'll see where we are money-wise. Let's see. All right, looks like we got 147 packages going out today. It's kind of low. I think I had 187 last weekend. So about 40 low from last weekend. And we are at 1025. So where are we at money-wise? We were at 170. We're at 241 at 1025. So that's a positive start to the day. I wish it would last all day like it used to. So, just took an offer for a Cardinal visor. So boom, that's everything. So, hopefully I'll give you some good ideas. But yeah, I think if we can get through the summer and get through these eBay issues, there's going to be a lot of people dropping off. I've already seen several people on Facebook and Facebook groups give up and close down and sell off their inventory. and stuff. So I've seen it. So I know it's happening. And I got a feeling it's just going to be a lot more throughout the summer. Because summer sales slow down, eat on top of it. So if you can, I feel if you can make it through the summer and we get to fourth quarter, things will, hopefully they'll have most of the problems fixed on the website. Hopefully. And we'll have a nice fourth quarter, but I think the first step is get through the summer. So, all right. I think that's all I can think of. Let me get this baby girl outside, and I appreciate everybody. Please like, subscribe, and all that jive, and I will see you all in the next video. Later.